started.
Hold on, let me close my door because Maddie's practicing the trumpet.
Yay. I was like, I hear like a band instrument. I don't think it's coming from Erica.
No, it's just Maddie and the trumpet.
Katie's on. Who else do we have on? Sarah's on.
Oh my God.
We're all hot messes, but that's just how it is today. AJ said a bit early. Yay, AJ says the end of that. Okay, so I'm going to just jump right in because we're going to all give our biggest takeaways and tips, and we have a lot to talk about. So first thing, announcements. Girls' Night is an event, so if you have not been invited, we're still tweaking this. You know, we're finding that if we do a private event, we do have to invite everybody. So if you need an invite, ask your personally sponsored coach to invite you. I've invited a bunch of people, but if I'm not friends with you for some reason yet, I can't invite everyone. So ask your personally sponsored coach to invite Girls' Night. Keep inviting people. Like, just be casual about it. You know, we're getting together tomorrow night to talk about what we do as coaches. You can bring a glass of wine or tea or whatever you want and just listen in. Team Cup is still going on, so keep pushing for helping people. I mean, that's really what it's all about. So work with your team. You know, we just check in a Facebook group each week, a couple times a week. So whatever works for your team, but check in with the Team Cup. Power Hour call will be happening sometime this week again. And moving forward, we are going to switch up our team calls. So 2 of them will be Power Hours and 2 will be content. So that'll be cool. So Monday nights will kind of alter, and we're going to have different people sharing what they do. So it's not always just me because everybody does stuff different. We can all learn from each other. Don't forget to keep planting seeds is, you know, hold on, let me get everybody for now. Okay. So it is still that time of year where people are kind of like, holidays are getting really close, even though it's been really warm in Illinois. But it is holiday season coming up. So still keep planting seeds, connecting with people, getting to know them. This is definitely a good time to sign up new coaches because going into January, you know, that's when people are looking for us. So make sure you're still doing the 21 Days of Why and putting yourself out there. I'm almost done with announcements. Refresh is after Thanksgiving. I wanted to do it before the Edge, but I thought twice in 1 month might be a little crazy. So don't forget, if you don't have a refresh kit, you can get that so you can do it with us. And then on to the Platinum Edge. So we're all going to give like a 5-minute takeaway. So I'm going to start with a couple like easy things to do. Kind of easy / overwhelming. So one thing we really learned about is protecting yourself from cybersecurity. And it's funny that this happened because Susan and I were texting and she was like, I just got an email from you about a weight loss link. And it didn't show up as like it's not from any of my emails. It's like somebody used my name to send out a spam. I'm like, how do I even fix that? So what my first thing that I'm going to do is I printed off this from Darren Natoni Spoke, and you guys can all go to it. It's called beyondthepassword.com. And you just give him your name and email, and he's going to give you a 10-step must-do to protect yourself online. So I started to play around with one of these password sites just now, and I know Stephanie tried to do one, and if you forget your password, you're kind of like in trouble. So make sure you set aside time to figure it out, but it's going to help you. And basically he said it's like putting up a roadmap so that hackers and people can't get to your stuff, because a lot of people have had things and their like social media has been wiped clean. And so that's just something easy. Everybody can go to that site and download his free tips. The other thing that everybody can do is sign up to hear about when Platinum Edge tickets are being released. Oh, yeah, so Darren Natoni, yeah, he was a former FBI agent. Yeah, so I was nervous too. I'm like, why does he want my email? Like, is he going to scam me? Like, I'm so paranoid. But he is a former FBI agent, and he's married to Fit and Funky now, Danielle, who's in Insanity Max 30, and he's in a bunch of the Insanity videos. So he helped Shalene when her account got hacked. So he's someone that you definitely want to go to his site, check it out, and you can learn how to protect yourself. good call on that. Okay, so Platinum Edge for next year, you can go to theplatinumedge.com and you can just sign up there to get notified. It's not saying you're signing up for tickets right away, but if you want to be one of the first ones to hear about when tickets go on sale, make sure you register at that link. It is going to be in September 23rd through 25th. So, mark your calendars. I'm still trying to convince AJ because it's like our 1-year anniversary then. But it's my favorite event because it's a lot smaller than Summit. There's 1,000 people that go, and you're learning from the coaches themselves. Like Janelle Summers, Shalene's sister, was one of the speakers. She gave us all her password to her team training site and exactly what she does. She's the highest earning coach in all of Beachbody. So everybody at the Edge that you're learning from are just giving it, I can't even talk, I'm so tired. Like they're just being so honest and just sharing everything. So one thing that I really took away, well, I took away a lot of things, but it's just the personal branding. So Michelle Myers was talking about the only thing that you can offer your customers that other coaches can't is you. So I want you to think about that because a lot of people are like, oh, there's so many coaches and why did they get from Amazon and why did they do this? And it's because we have to be better at offering ourselves and sharing what we've been going through. Sarah's really good at storytelling, so I'm sure she'll talk more. But one thing that I did on the plane is I just took time, to brainstorm all of my struggles and things I've gone through that I want to start sharing with people and teaching on. Like I had depression in high school. I started my eating disorder at the age of 10. I'm a workaholic and a perfectionist. And I don't know how to relax. I'm formerly shy. Sorry about that. My computer's updating over here. Because one thing you have to do is update your computers. But just so many things. Like I want you to put it on your to-do list. Just sit, put on music if that's how you are, and just write down stuff about you. Because I honestly feel like I'm boring. I'm always like, oh, I don't have. Sarah's like, you need to talk about this. I'm like, I don't have anything to talk about. I just do fitness, But then when I was sitting there in the airplane, all these things were coming up. Like people didn't know I lived in California. People don't know I have basal cell skin cancer and I used to go tanning. All these weird things that we think aren't a big deal, we can use to share our stories and to connect with people and to teach people. So that was a huge takeaway for me. It's just opening up, sharing your story, and being true to you. We're all so different and we all have so much to offer. So don't be afraid to always be yourself and use your strengths. Like we all have our own talents and, share them with the team. Don't try to, if you really don't like using Twitter or Instagram or you don't want to be on video, then you don't have to, find what works for you. I love Facebook. That's where I hang out. I'm not good on Twitter. I'm not good on Instagram. I'm going to try Periscope, but I'm on Facebook. That's where I'm at. And then the last thing, Chelsea Pearson, she was what I needed to hear because I've been struggling with content lately because I'm trying to find that balance still with not being too spammy, but I do still want to talk about the products and, trying to figure it out. And she explained, Lindsay Matway always talked about social media as your reality show. And Chelsea's like, you shouldn't think of it as a reality show. You should think of it as your journal. So when you're writing your posts, you should be writing to people like you. And it's like you're telling your story to that person. You're writing in your journal. And she had some really good tips on finding content. Because I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I sit down and stare at my phone like, I know I need to post, but I don't have anything to talk about tonight. So what she does is she has a Google Drive file where she saves quotes, she saves pictures, she has 4 folders, and I'll get all this stuff once I can open my computer. I don't know why I decided to upload the computer that I'm just taking notes on while I was before this call, but anyways, I'll get all that to you later. I'll teach you later. But so have folders, a Google folder or a note in your phone where you just save stuff. So when you're doing your personal development and you hear a quote that really resonates with you, you can take a picture of it or write it down then and then share that later on. And then she also uses Pinterest, of course, to have secret boards of ideas of things she wants to create. And one thing that was a genius is if you search in Pinterest for photo a day, there's all those different calendars on Pinterest for different months where you can do a photo a day challenge. And people don't need to know that's where you're getting your content, but it'll give you ideas on things to post about each day for the month of November, December, any month. Use those as examples of good photos. And another thing she uses is BuzzFeed. She'll look at the headlines and see what's kind of in online, what's the big buzz, what's going on now. And she'll use that to build content or to, there was one that was like 27 crock pot things. She's like, oh, I'll do a crock pot challenge. So you can be creative and really use Pinterest, use BuzzFeed, use your personal development, write it all down. And so then when it is 9 o'clock at night and you want to do a post because people are online, you're not stuck. You have content to go with. I think that was more than 5 minutes, but I just really that was a big thing to me. And then also more of being me and sharing my story was huge. So I hope that helps you guys. I know we'll dive more into all these topics later, but I'm going to pass it on to the Marquez crew. Let me see if I can unmute Brenda. I just unmuted her. Are you guys both together?
Yeah. Can you guys hear us or me?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So like Allison, I had a lot of takeaways too. This is my 3rd Platinum Edge, so I've been going since Christine started doing it. And every year, it's awesome every year. She's always got good speakers. Platinum Presenters, which is all a team that we belong to, has the most 15-star diamonds, the most millionaires, everything that you can ask for, it's kind of there. So it's kind of silly for us not to go, and that's what it's not my biggest takeaway, but it's something that I feel we need to stress more, just going to live events and how important it is for you and for your business. If you're on this call, you're probably on this call because you want to do something with the business. So that means that you should be going to live events. There was a guy at the Platinum Edge that had only been a coach for 3 months, I think he said. And he's in Fit and Funky's team, but she had a call with her team and was trying to stress the importance of going. And she made, a silly reference I don't care what you have to do. If you have to sell your kidney to get there, you should. And so this guy, he had just left his job. He's in his 40s. He has a nice, I think it was a Range Rover, $90,000 Range Rover. He's sitting around and he's thinking, should I go to the live event? Should I not go? I don't know. I don't have money, blah, blah, blah. And he realized that his kidney that he needed to sell was actually his Range Rover or Land Rover, whatever the hell it is. But he sold the van that he really liked. It had an emotional meaning to him. After he got divorced, he bought it to make himself feel good. But that's extreme. $90,000 truck. I don't know how much he got for it. Obviously, he used money to pay for other stuff that he needed to get paid for. But everybody here has something that we can sell to get ourselves to an event. If it's a purse, if it's stuff laying around your house that you don't need. I've started doing this myself with purses because I was collecting a lot for a while. So now, I made myself the deal. If I'm going to get a new purse, I have to sell the purse that I already have. So, and it's not always to get a new purse. Sometimes I needed to go, wherever it is the event is going. You guys are going to learn so much. And you get to meet the rest of the team, which is pretty awesome. We know each other via social media, but when we meet, it's we literally are a family. And we get to know each other so much more, our stories, and we connect, and you never want to leave. So it kind of sucks. But the next event is Super Saturday in January. If you've never been to one, this is you guys have to go. The tickets are $20. Seriously, that's selling, I don't know, a DVD or a book or something that you have laying around, your kids' toys that they don't play with anymore. But you seriously need to get to an event. Your mind is going to be blown. My first summit, I was mind blown. And I went by myself and I didn't know a lot of people in a room with, these 3 other girls that I didn't know. But here I am, 3 years later, still going to every event. I can count on one hand how many events I've missed. 2 Super Saturdays, one because it was the day after our wedding, and the second one was because it was my husband's birthday. So whatever your excuse is, put it to the side, find something to sell to get there. You have a whole year now. The next Platinum Manager Summit is 6-7 months away. So you can start saving money. Save for 52 is a good way to save money for that. Or start looking around your house and see what you can get rid of. But that's kind of my spiel. So whatever you do, get there. And I hope to see some of you guys at Summit. And some of you guys that are close by Chicago and want to come to Super Saturday, we've opened up our house to whoever wants to come. You guys can stay here. It's not that big, but there's a air mattress and there's some couches for you guys. So we'll do anything to save money, but we want to see you guys at live events.
Caesar, are you jumping in too?
Yeah.
Yay.
All right, so this is my second time I've been to Platinum Edge. And it's funny because during Summit this year, I had said prior to going to, I had told Brenda, I'm like, you know what, we need to save money. Why don't you just go to Platinum Edge yourself and, you know, just let me know what information you get me to come back. And during Summit, like Brenda was saying, live events are just mind-blowing. Like, it's totally different. Like, probably like the end of the first day, I was like, you know what, no. We're going to Platinum Edge. I don't care what we have to do, save money, whatever it is. We're going to do it. So we did it, you know, and luckily, like she tells me that I'm a supportive husband. You know, some of you might not have a supportive spouse, but, you know, either get them on, you know, to join you, or if not, just do it for your, you know, first you got to do it for yourself and then do it for your family as well. Because this is a great opportunity for anybody, and especially live events is totally different than us being right here on the internet, you know, talking to each other. When you actually meet each other and then learn from the best coaches, like, you can take your business so much further. But I'm going to talk about what my takeaway was. My takeaway was they were talking about how you should ask people like lots of questions if you're trying to help them. Because what I think sometimes we tend to do, especially like towards the end of the month, we want to get those challenge, what's called the successful club points, or, you know, you just want to get that sale, which is the wrong thing to do. So what I mean by that is sometimes we just like throw out like, oh, you know, 21-day fix is on sale, when that program might not help that person. And I have a personal experience from that, because prior to going to that, my brother, I've been talking to him. And, you know, I've been asking him, like, okay, well, what do you like? You know, you know, he was just asking questions after questions. And then he's like, man, you really, really want to know what I want to do? I'm like, yeah, like, I want you to help you. So I could have easily just offered him the 21-day fix, which was on sale. But after, like, he answered all the questions, I found out that Asylum will be a better program for him. Now, Asylum is an older program, but from everything he wants to, you know, do more about speed and agility. He has time to do more than 30 minutes to work out. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to tell him about Asylum. Now, Asylum is a lot more than the 21-day fix. But it's been a little over a week now. He keeps calling me every other day. So I'm like, you know what? I love this program. I'm like, I'm hooked. So what they were saying at Platinum Edge is that make sure you find out what is going to help them. Don't just try to give them a program that's on sale, because that can backfire you, Joe. You give them that 21-day fix, or you give them say max 30, and then they hate the program, they're not going to come back to you. And, you know, that's going to hurt you, because now, you know, if anybody ever asks them about, like, hey, you know, do you know anybody that can help me with losing weight? They're not going to refer you, because they're going to think like, well, you didn't help me. Why would they help my friend? So to summarize, just ask questions. You know, don't just try to get that sale, because we're not about sales. I know sometimes we feel like we are, because we try and get those points, but in the long run, we're coaches to help people. So ask questions and then advise them on what program will help them. And if you're not familiar with the program, that's what we're here for. Like, I've done Body Beast. I know some of you might not have done Body Beast. I've done a couple sides, but I know my to-go would probably be Allison. I'll say, Allison, you know, tell me about sides, because Allison loves the program. Or, you know, maybe anybody else. So use each other for sources as well.
Yay. Yeah, and it's so true. Like, giving the right program builds trust. So make sure you really do that. Thanks, crew. All right. Morgana, I'm unmuting you.
Hi. So I think, and this is my first Platinum Edge. I went to Summit this year too, and I also went to Coach Camp in Chicago. And kind of touching on what Brenda said, you know, I live in New Mexico, like on an acre all by myself. So, and I've made it to these events. Like, you just do it, make it happen, because connecting with all of us in person is so great. Like, I can't even describe how great it is. It feels like family and it feels like home, and there's, you know, no drama, no mess. Like, everyone just loves each other and supports each other. So that's my first thing to say. I personally work like 2.5 jobs, just depending on the day. And I have a husband and a kid and a house. And so what really spoke to me was Shalene talked about some time management stuff. She talked about getting systems in place, you know, in your business, and schedules that you actually stick to, like writing down what your ideal work day is, not your dream work day for when you know, just work from home, but like right now with your life the way it is, write down your best schedule. Like, what do you do from 7 to 8? What do you do from 8 to 8:30? Like, how does your day flow? And then do it. Like, set those work hours in that schedule and do it. Don't make an excuse. Don't let anything else happen. Like, I tell people that with working out too, put it in your calendar and use it just like a doctor's appointment. You know, you don't not show up for the doctors or the dentist or someone who's counting on you. So you need to count on yourself, like, to show up and do it. So that was one of them. To also like declutter your workspace. She was really like talking about decluttering your workspace, to make it be minimalist, like to take out all of the distractions that are around you, including working with no noise, which was kind of an eye-opener for me because I always have music on when I work. She said she even puts on like noise-canceling headphones. She works in a wine cellar, like in a closet with no windows. But so to make sure that your space is clean and neat and easy to work in, so you want to be there, like you want to go in and do it. She also talked about the fact that multitasking doesn't exist. So when you are trying to do 2 or 3 or 4 things at once, you're not doing any of them well, and you're not giving your focus to anything. So to really, I know I'm like the worst, you know, I've got Facebook open and this open and a message here and going there and doing this. And she said to really like take the time to plan out your power hour and only do messages here and only do posting here and only planning here, so that you're focused, because you're going to work smarter, which is what she was also saying. You will work less time if you work smarter and do it more efficiently. So for me anyway, I'm always looking for ways to save time. So that was a big eye-opener for me. And to also have clarity in what you're doing, which part of what she said was to focus most of your energy and attention, at least coaching with your coaches, on the 20% of your coaches who are doing something, the 20% that are moving, the 20% who are working. Don't waste your time dragging the ones who aren't, but really focus and give your attention on those who are showing you that they want to work. So that was good stuff for me too. And I think that's all. Yep, that's all I've got.
Yay!
Yay!
The multitasking thing makes me depressed. But you guys, she made us do an activity where we had to write 1 through 11 on a piece of paper, and then we had to write, I forgot, a word on a piece of paper.
It was multitasking.
Oh, we had to write multitasking out.
Yeah.
And then you had to go, you know, 1 M, 2 U, and it took so much longer. And so that was like a kick in the butt. But it's true. So let's all stay focused. We can do it. Awesome stuff. All right, Emily, I'm unmuting you.
Okay. Oh, okay. You already did it for me.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm using my phone. I don't see a time. So if it gets past 5 minutes, just like give me a signal. Just let me know. But I'll try to make this short. So I have heard many people, this was my first big Beachbody event, and I've heard a lot of people say that this was the event that changed my life or something along those lines. And I kind of just roll my eyes or just kind of smile at them and be like, that's nice. But honestly, I feel like this was the event that changed my life, and I really didn't expect it at all. So I am going to repeat some of the things that people have said, but it was a little bit different for me. So the first thing was the price, like Cesar spoke about. Christine Dwyer gave a story about how when she was a salesperson, she would always go for the $20 shirt instead of the expensive shirt because she thought nobody would want to buy it. So she was only making about $10 commission. And I honestly feel like I do that all the time because I think you all can agree one of the reasons people don't want a challenge package or Shakeology, well, the biggest reason is they're not ready. But the second that comes up is usually price. And in the beginning, it was a big turnoff for me. I have learned different ways to get around talking about price, of course, from all of your help. But I'm still hesitant to do it. If I just automatically get scared when I reach out to somebody or they reach out to me. I'll automatically offer them the challenge packet that is on sale for the month instead of doing what I think would really be best for them. And it's crazy to me because that actually happened to me. The first program I ever bought was Insanity, and it is not the right program for me. I'm going to try to do it again, but 2 years ago, it was not. So I ended up waiting several months and bought a new program. But if I would have just bought T25, which is the second program I bought, the first time, I would have been way ahead of the game. So that was definitely a lesson learned. I'm going to be asking questions and figure out what people really need. And then also setting a schedule, which Shailene talked about, which we all have a million things going on at once. And I am single. I don't have a family. I don't have kids, but I do have a very demanding job, and I am involved in a lot of activities. So I get really busy too. So I really did sit down this weekend and when I was on the plane and wrote down exactly what I wanted to do at what time. So that really has been helpful. I woke up this morning and knocked out about 2 hours of chores and things that I had to do, and it was behind me. It was done. So I didn't have to think about it for the rest of the day. So that was really helpful. And then the last one, I think, is I have been doing this since about April, which I might have said that, so about 7 months. So sometimes it can be really intimidating going to events, especially with people that have done it for so long. But everybody really was so nice to me. I mean, they were all complete strangers, but I felt like they were family. I mean, the first person I met was at the airport was Sarah Kidd. And I mean, they were just so nice. I can't even begin to explain it. So really sorry to say that the older coaches, so the ones that have been doing it the longest, they really are there to use. And that really eased my mind, knowing that I just had so much support and people to help me. I feel like, to be honest, that's something that I necessarily used or even had the past 8 months. So I've always said that I kind of wanted to be a business builder, but I never really thought I could do it because I was holding myself back. But I need support sometimes in order to move forward, for people to tell me, it's okay, you can do this. Sometimes I need a cheerleader. I'll be honest about that. So having this event and knowing I had 11 or 10, how many people it was, standing behind me was just amazing. Like, I came home, I wrote down my goals, and it's not that it's a temporary high. Like, I know that this is what I want to do with my life. And I feel like it took this weekend to make me realize that. So if you are new, you can do it too. And don't be afraid to ask questions, reach out. And if people get annoyed with you, ask somebody else. It's not a big deal. There's like 600 people, other people that you can ask. Like I said, this isn't just like a temporary high for me. When I got home, I did apply for Christine's boot camp. And then I also, I reached out to about 10 people that I could see on my team. And so far I got 2 coaches that said yes to the call tomorrow. So definitely coming out of my comfort zone, but I'm ready to build my business and I'm willing to put the time and commitment into it. So if it wasn't for Platinum Edge, I would still just be kind of coasting and doing what I always did. So.
Yeah. That's awesome. And it's so true about support. Like, that's what we love. Like, we all love helping people. So if you're a newer coach, or if you're an older coach even, and you've never felt that support, like, we're here. Like, reach out to one of us, reach out in the team page and your coach's page to your coach. And if your coach isn't active, like, go to their coach, look in your back office. It'll say your Diamond Upline or Star Diamond Upline. So we're all here to help, and we want to see you succeed, because this is a pretty sweet job. So good stuff, Emily. All right, Stephanie, are you ready?
Yeah, I could cry right now listening to you talk. That was crazy. That's amazing. We loved meeting you. We had so much fun.
Thank you. I'm going to mute myself now, but thanks.
So I just wanted to talk about Michelle Myers. I took away so much, but when I was going over my notes, she talked about the top 5 branding mistakes. And she talked a lot about how people will make themselves the hero of the story. And, she talked about movies and how there's always a hero. and there's always someone with a problem, and someone always helps them. And she said that you have to remember that your customer is the hero every single time, and you have to make them feel important. You know, it's not always about us sharing our own stories and saying like, I lost 20 pounds and I paid off my school student loan. And you have to elevate others' success. And if people just keep seeing us post about ourselves, you know, even if it's small things, if it's bigger than what they think they can do and they're not confident, then they're going to think that it's not attainable, and they're not going to want to become a coach, because they'll be like, she's so awesome and she's doing all this, but I can't do that. So she really pushed sharing, you know, your like other teammates' stories, your customer stories, you know, so you can say like, my customer, she lost 15 pounds. She's a busy mom. She did this, she did that. And when you talk about their story, then other people can relate to that, and then they'll want to be a part of that. So you always have to remember that the customer is the hero of your brand. Clarity is, how hard is it for your customer to do business with you? So if they see something and then they're like, I don't even know how to contact this person. Like if they have to click all these different ways, then they're not even gonna, you know, there are so many coaches. So you have to make it easy for that person to reach out to you. And you have to be focused with your targeting. So many people want to just please everybody, and we want to like cater to everyone, but your brand has to satisfy your brand. So if your brand is going to satisfy everyone, then it's not going to work. You have to really focus on who you are. You know, if you're a stay-at-home mommy, if you have a full-time job, if you are a single mom, whoever you are, you need to create that brand, because those are the people that you're going to attract, and those are the people that you can help, because those people can relate to you. So she said, if you know, because a brand that tries to satisfy everyone satisfies no one, which I thought was pretty cool to hear. Let me see. I'm just reading my notes, so I just have to scroll down. Sorry. So then she talks about like external problems and internal problems. So if you just say like an external problem is losing weight, like that's so vague. And if someone says like, oh, I want to do the 21-day fix to lose weight, they're probably going to do it for the 21 days and then go back to where they started. So you have to think about internal problems. So like if you lose weight, you're going to have more energy, you're going to sleep better, you're going to be able to run around with your kids. You have to get into that like feeling of what losing weight will do for them, because that's what people connect with. So you have to figure out what the deep problem is. So you're speaking to their problems. So you can say to a mom, like, if you lose the 30 pounds, then you can actually go and run around with your family. And that's more important than just losing weight in the end. A lot of us, you know, base our success on wrong numbers. So we'll make a post and we'll be like, oh, I got 50 likes and 30 comments. But, you know, in the end, that doesn't really, those don't matter. So what's important is how many followers actually convert to customers. So how many people actually engage with you and take action. That's what's really important. You know, if you have 30,000 followers on Instagram, but no one engages with you, then those numbers don't matter. And then of course, number 5 is inconsistency. So she said, you know, as we all say, none of this matters if you aren't consistent. She said, if you don't show up pretty much every day of the week, even if it's for that one post or those 5 minutes, it really doesn't matter. You have to base your work and your purpose together. You know, she said, if you want to help people for their financial situation, if you want to make them feel healthier and live better, more purposeful lives, you just have to be consistent. And she, you know, reiterated, we're all super busy. No one has just extra time lying around, but consistency is your choice. Like if you want to make things happen, it's your choice. And consistency is really like when you do something even though you don't want to. That's like the most important time to do it. So she just said, make the decision to be consistent. So those were just like super helpful for me, because I think a lot of times I try to share my story because I want to excite people to join me, but I have to focus more on other people and sharing my other customers and my fellow coaches so that other people can relate to them more. Because the more short stories I share, there'll be more people that can connect, you know, because I don't have, you know, my own kids. And if I share a busy mom that did it, they can connect with that. If I share with a single mom, on another hand, someone else can connect with that. So the more stories you share, the more people that you can connect with.
Yay. I know, I feel like we do Transformation Tuesday, but we all, like, I know I need to do that more too. Just keep sharing stories for sure. Lots of good tips. And the consistency, you guys, is so huge. Like everyone, whether it was about making YouTube videos or your schedule, or like every single person on the stage talked about consistency. So if you haven't read The Compound Effect, read it and you'll get the consistency. All right, Sarah, ready?
I'm ready. Mine's really quick. So mine wasn't really like something that I learned specifically. I think it was like something that I felt. So this was my 5th biggest event. I mean, I've been to like 10 events Super Saturdays, but so it was my 2nd time at the Edge. But it was my first time that my mindset was actually like in the game for me. And I went with an open heart and an open mind. And I came home and the first thing I said to my husband was, we have strengths and we're not utilizing them. Like I'm trying so hard to be like everyone else. Like I tell my story, which is great, but I'm trying to tell my story like everybody else does. And I need to do it my own way, which my husband kicks ass at video and I don't mind being in front of the camera. So I really need to utilize that by doing YouTube and Periscope and stop trying to be like every other coach out there. So I said, we need to like do that. That's our thing. So I guess for me to tell you guys is you guys need to utilize your strengths. What makes you you? Like what makes you so stinking awesome? Because you all are awesome. But what makes you awesome? And then capitalize on that. Stop trying to be like Lindsay Matway and Tara Carr and like all the other coaches. You need to be you. And it needs to be your journal, your reality show, your story, and do it in a way that makes you feel comfortable. Like Allison said, like if you don't want to get in front of the camera, don't do videos. Do I think that means that you shouldn't do Periscope? No, I think that you should try. But if you are awesome at meal prepping, like talk about that. Like don't try to be like every other person out there. You need to be yourself because that's going to attract the people that you want to work with and the people that are going to want to work with you. So, and then Allison said the rest of what I was going to say. So great minds. And yeah, live events are amazing. Like I said, it was my 5th one, but it was the first time that I walked away and I actually said to myself, like, I set a goal and I know what's going to happen because like it just synced in differently. Sometimes it takes multiple times for you hearing the same thing over and over again for it to sink in. But, and it was amazing to hang out with the team. I think this was the most team time we had. We all got to hang out, drink some wine and just giggle at crazy things. And that was really fun. Well, Caesar didn't giggle. Guys don't giggle, right? No, and it was really great. It was great to meet all the new people and see our team just growing and exploding. And you guys need to get to an event. So Super Saturday is next. And you guys have Carl in Chicago, so your ass better be there. Seriously.
And I'm hosting, so that's cool.
Yeah. And she's hosting. And that was it. Oh, and I was going to talk about the boot camp. Like Emily said, you have to be Emerald to apply for business boot camp. Changed my life, made me diamond the first time. There's a diamond boot camp for anyone that's diamond, which is even better. And it's intense, and it is in December. So before you even think about applying, you need to think to yourself, can I handle doing this boot camp in the middle of the holidays? I think everybody should do it, regardless of this in December, because it's just amazing. But yeah, that was a plug. Okay, I'm done now.
Yeah, anytime you can learn from one of the top coaches in the industry, there's 170,000 coaches under Christine, and we have access to work with her one-on-one. Like during recognition, I've done both of her boot camps, and so I was dancing on the dance floor, of course, and she on the stage was like, is that Allison? Like she knew who I was, and I was like, she knows me. But I've done her boot camps, and I've studied from her, and I learned from her, and I try to give back if she ever needs a testimonial or whatever. So if you can do her boot camp, apply for it. And if you don't get in, I applied like 3 times before I got in. I don't know what was wrong with me or what I wasn't doing, but I think she can only pick a certain number of coaches from each upline. I don't know how she does it, but keep applying if you don't get in the first time around. Can I share some of your stories? Yes, share other people's stories for sure. Anyone can share my story. Share people's stories. I tried to get together a file of like stories, and I think there's like 2 in there. So we'll keep working on putting that together, but we do need to share each other's stories and edify each other, and just, everyone has such a different story. So we have to share those. But yeah, just one thing on Periscope, and then I'll let you guys go to bed, or I'm going to go to bed. At 5:30, I'm like, is it bedtime yet? She was like, don't you have a call? But Periscope, Shalene is really pushing for it, because she said her business doubled, because on Periscope, you can tell right away if you like someone or if you don't, because it's live video. So she challenged us to do 5 videos this week, and they have to be 5 to 10 minutes, and it can be on anything you want. Leandra did the how to wear makeup but not make it look like makeup, and afterwards I like ordered makeup. I was sold. Like everybody, I haven't seen Morgana's yet, but everybody's doing like their strengths. Brenda did one on how to make your Monday good. A lot of people go to work all sad on Mondays, and so I watched hers this morning. So try it out if you haven't downloaded Periscope. We can all put our Periscope somewhere on our page so we can follow each other. But that's another tool to connect, because that then shares to Twitter automatically. And then you can also share it to your Facebook. So you can use it for multiple things, and you can save the video and you can upload it to YouTube. So like you can do a lot of stuff with doing a Periscope video for 5 to 10 minutes. So I recommend that. I'm going to stop. I'm just really excited. Don't forget girls' night. She told our group, no surface answers. Deep with your reason and answer when you apply. Yeah. So make sure if you are applying for boot camp, you just like really answer those questions. But yeah, don't forget girls' night tomorrow night at 8 Central Time. And that's the last one for the month of November. We haven't set up December's yet, so we'll keep you posted on that. Oh, and the last thing, we're working on a 7-day jumpstart for new coaches. Yay! So it's going to be even easier than the 14-day videos, because the sooner everyone can start to see success and learn what this is all about, the simpler we can make it. I think you'll all thank us. So we're working as a team on that for you guys, and everyone's frozen but me, so my internet connection's unstable. So I will see you guys tomorrow, but thanks for jumping on. Thank you everyone who went to the event. I appreciate you taking the time out, and I appreciate everyone who got on tonight. So I will see you guys later, and I will post the recording. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.